this is the third or fourth time in a row we're doing this, your confidence is shot because you're like, well, we didn't come back from the other ones. What makes you think we're going to come back from this one? Your confidence is not going anywhere. The team's just not in a good spot, and you really need to open up these games and start it a little bit better.
I agree. So we'll kind of rope you guys in here because I don't think we were live until 20 seconds ago. So that is all good. We're on the air now, and we'll kind of restart a little bit. So if you missed the conversation we were just having, it was about the Sabres recap. But before we get into that, welcome to Buffalo Sports Insider, episode number 31, the season finale of season 1. Exactly. Had to go out with a bang. We couldn't go without some jokes over here. But my name is KJ Zelzinski, your host for today, also joined by Colton Bankowitz, Thomas Bailey, Sarah Terrio, and Justin Cjack. I'm getting a little bit of deja vu here, guys. I don't know about this one.
Like
We've been here before. Okay, well, so we had a little bit of practice, I guess, talking about the Sabres' tough 0-4 streak right now. It has been pretty awful. In the past week, again, they play the Blues, they play the Canes, the Preds, and the Red Wings. And I know you guys kind of talked about this last episode, but the games like the Blues and the Preds, you can't lose. A 4-loss streak. What do you attribute that to?
I think that this team just needs to get that brand of physicality. And right now, the guys that we have on our roster that can give us physicality are not in the lineup. Talk Greenway.
Yeah.
All these key players not playing, all of like these different injuries to the defensive side, all these things like that. It's attributing to a long losing streak so far. We're on 4 games now. We're playing against a really good Boston team on Thursday night, so there's a chance it could extend even further.
in TD Garden.
In TD Garden again. We've already lost there once this season. It's going to be a difficult stretch here, and we know that. But when we're going down early in these games, when we're not starting the game off the way we need to, it's kind of, leading to big losses that really are head scratchers to us. Like, really, the Predators? Predators?
No, exactly. That's all I'm saying, too. But, hey, don't worry, Justin, because we got Eric Robinson now to save the day, right?
Give us the cup.
Yes.
Exactly. A tough move there. And Sarah, you were at the game, right? So this is, I mean, like being a fan in the stands. What do you see there? I mean, not only from a fan perspective on the ice, what do you kind of see from players
Specifically
too?
as a fan, you see the empty seats slowly increasing in size, unfortunately. Yesterday we versed the Wings and majority were Wings fans. But yeah, the funny thing is the Wings fans joined in when we booed. So it was like even louder, which was really hilarious. But like also issue is both the Wings and the Predators were very aggressive against us, and the refs did not call anything for us. So when they hit us, or like they should have called penalty, we kind of took back and we weren't aggressive enough back, and that's why we ended up losing numerous times, as well as our defense. And I'm calling him out, Dowleen. I'm calling him out. He's still on my.
Let's get him on the show.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to show.
Right. No, I think I agree with you. I think Dalsey's had kind of a rough patch of games after a really good start to the
Defensively, I'd
season.
say.
Defensively,
Yeah,
yes,
well,
I would have to.
defensively,
Defensively, he's had kind of a rough patch. But again, this is just not where they need to be. And again, this is almost like last season where they go on this big losing streak. At the end of the season, they're just one game out from making it. And they're like, if we would have won one of those games back in whatever it was, November, October, Exactly. And now, Colton, they're looking at the Bruins coming up again. You said TD Garden. They're playing the Bruins. So this, and as one of the better teams, but remember back to the Rangers game that happened before the loss streak, right? A 5-1 win over a good team. Are the Sabres just built to beat good teams, or what do you think?
I think with their inconsistencies also create opportunities. And I think that there's still the offensive firepower there. JJ Peterka is so good with the puck and without the puck. He's physical on offense, off the puck. With the puck, doesn't matter. And he makes players around him better. And Tage looked slow, obviously not playing for weeks on end. Will do that to you.
Right.
But that's one of those teams where if you can score on them, you can keep up with them. It's more of their defensive scheme and being able to get by their physicality, which the Sabres can't match, but they can get around with the smaller, faster players. If they can avoid getting absolutely demolished, that is.
Exactly.
And I think that the opportunity is there, and I think that if you try to out physical or obviously be more physical than Boston, you're going to lose. But if you try to play around them and move the puck and make them move, those guys get tired out, and you can absolutely beat them.
Yeah, no, exactly. I agree with you. And again, this team, inconsistent is the right word. Would you guys agree that the Sabres are just
inconsistent and not physical?
not physical?
Like we mentioned prior to this,
Exactly.
they're kids on the ice, right? At the end
They
of the
really
day,
are.
At the end of the day,
Super young
there's
team.
several Sabres that are under the age of 22, 23. And this is a league of veterans. Let's face it. These guys, they're lacking muscle. They should bring me on as a trainer or something.
This guy.
But no, they're lacking that physicality. And that was my biggest gripe with Kevin Adams is he sat on his hands in a crucial offseason, right? You're putting so much pressure on 19, 20, 21-year-olds. Listen, now you're reaping the benefits. Now or the lack thereof benefits. Now you're stuck with a team that can't keep up physicality-wise, and it's paying terrible receipts right now.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think, again, a lot to attribute kind of to the coaching. Again, it's so funny the parallels between Bills and Sabres here.
Yeah.
Just a lot of coaching kind of friction going on with
Goalies. I wanted them to make a move for a goalie.
Exactly.
They didn't do that. They put too much on Devin Levi. They
Yep.
botched that scenario.
Yep.
He's in the AHL, doing good now.
Watch Matt
Gets
Savoy
called back
too.
up because UPL's sick, because UPL and Comrie are roller coaster goalies, as I'd like to call them. And that's just another big issue that the Sabres didn't address.
Exactly. So, again, they are sitting at 14th in the Eastern Conference right now. They are really looking beat up. A game versus the Bruins.
More injuries. Alex talked.
More exactly. Alex tucked down too. So
Not even
this doesn't-
injuries, just the sickness with UPL.
Exactly,
too.
UPL, I
One
would
of
say.
our, one of our best
Sabres
goalies.
are cursed,
Greenway's out.
and we'll leave it at that. Right.
Jackman's
So
out.
it's been tough.
Embarrassing, though, so.
Exactly. And crossing our fingers because next up you have Bruins, then Canadiens, and I think Coyotes sometime after that, right? Sometime
Monday, I
next week.
believe Monday.
Yeah. So again, just really hoping for the Sabres to kind of make a bounce back and go on a tear again. You're getting Jack Quinn back at some point, so fingers
Hopefully
crossed.
Tage is healthy. I
Exactly.
just hope they
Tage
didn't
was
rush him
back in the lineup, but was he a non-factor?
For the most part.
It's just,
I think it's just
that could
getting
be a
used to
Von
it.
Miller.
Yeah,
story.
it's yeah. You don't want to rush a guy back from an injury like that, especially in a situation like where we're at right now. We kind of had to. We felt like in a lot of senses with all the other
Right.
guys being down.
I don't know. I don't know if it's rushing so much. I don't think they would even risk that at that point, because if you're now down Tuck and Thompson, I think it was just a matter of him getting kicking the rust off.
Yeah, no, I can agree with you there. So we're going to take a quick break for a commercial. When we come back, though, we're going to have Deshaun and Ronan on here to talk more about the Buffalo Bills and their matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs and a little bit more AFC news. Thanks for joining us. We will be right back.
How was school today?
It was good.
Did you play volleyball?
Yes.
How's your serve coming? I think we'll work on it this weekend.
Amy's slumber party is this weekend.
Is your homework done?
No.
That was the deal we made. If you do.
Hi, Lauren. My name is Katie. We're gonna take care of you, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right, and welcome back to Local Sports Insider. We are now joined by Deshaun, Ronan on our season finale. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having me, KJ.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's my pleasure. So let's get started talking about some AFC East power rankings, because I am very interested to see what you guys think about this side of the league so far.
AFC East or AFC in general?
AFC in general.
Okay.
AFC in general,
Because
because
it's AFC East, I just want to make sure.
yeah, my bad. I'm human. All right, guys, I'm human.
We
So
know that.
so let's get started talking kind of who's at the bottom. We'll start at everybody's 16 spot.
I think
I-
because
we
think
don't all
it's
agree.
pretty
I'm gonna be-
consistent.
It is the New England Patriots.
It
Everyone
is.
agrees, right?
That's a consensus.
Wholeheartedly
It's gotta
the
be.
New England
That is a
Patriots.
dumpster fire organization currently. no means
Absolutely.
out.
And
Oh, well,
speaking
they've
of,
got some means. They're going to get Caleb Williams.
oh, right,
Don't
right.
tell me that. Don't do this to me.
All right, speaking of dumpster fire organizations, 15, I have the New York Jets. I
have
think.
the Las Vegas Raiders.
Wow.
Raiders
Jets
that
right
low,
above
really?
them. I think the Raiders were definitely someone that everyone wanted to see be a lot higher on their list with Devontae Adams being on the team. So the fact that we're not able to talk about Devontae Adams as much this season due to the fact that his quarterback was literally just overthrowing him or missing him the entire season, I was so sad. So they go 15 for me.
I got Jets at 15 just because Salah is in jeopardy losing that locker room.
Agree.
They can't figure out the quarterback
They
position.
have the
Not at
whole
all.
Zach Wilson saga. It's just awkward. I have them at
And now he's back.
What do you
on
got,
his
Ronan?
right.
Yeah, Titans. Okay, Titans at 15. I mean, that's a good segue. I have Titans at 14. I think they're also down there.
I gave Titans the spot for the Raiders at 14 because I like Will Levis better than like
I would agree with you there.
I have the Titans at 14, but that's because I think the core outside of that, I do like the Raiders a little bit more. And if they cannot blow it and stick with their interim head coach, I think that.
defensive player of the year candidate.
But we've seen this one exactly. And then at 13, I have the Chargers.
I have the Chargers at 13 as well.
13's
and it's
for
I
me.
have 13.
and
Chargers.
there's two reasons, and one is they cannot go up until they fire Brandon Staley.
Brandon Staley needs to
And-
be gone like months
And
ago.
two, it's Keenan Allen and no one else.
Yeah,
Austin
exactly.
Eckler is a
have
pass.
You
seen
guys
the
agree
this
with
year?
that, or?
Yeah, I have them because you have Quentin Johnson, who got ranked so
Oh my
much. He got
God.
drafted so much higher than everyone else. I put Puka Nacua under that list because Puka Nacua is going crazy for the Rams.
If only Justin Herbert could throw and catch his own passes, then he would be an
I'm
elite
sick of that,
quarterback. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. But okay, my 12, or sorry, this is, what are we at? We're at 12 now?
we're at 12.
12, I had Chargers. Again, they're just,
That's 12 for me. I had Titans.
I have the Raiders. They're a little bit higher than everyone else.
Bengals at 12.
Interesting.
Raiders.
The Bengals
Okay.
at 12.
I have no faith in Jake Brown.
So not the fact that there's Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon and Tyler Boyd. They just catch the ball and do what they have to do, like we saw Jamar Chase on a 74-yard touchdown.
Because their defense is bad too.
Interesting.
I can agree.
Yeah, they're banged up.
I can agree.
Down Cam Taylor Britt.
Well, for me, I have the Bengals at 11.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's why I was going into that.
I also
had
have
them
the
one
Bengals
spot
at 11.
higher.
I have the Browns at 11. They have an elite defense, but DTR is not leading them
Joe
anywhere.
Flacco.
Sorry, you're right. Joe Flacco now. Joe Flacco. Regardless, Joe Flacco's not leading them, and he doesn't have nearly as many weapons, I think, as the Bengals.
Who do you have at
do.
11?
Colts.
The Colts at
Wow.
11.
So can we hear that? Because I have the Colts at 4 on my list.
I have the Colts at 6.
So please talk to me.
Yeah.
Colts
Share
at
a
4.
little bit.
I don't know. I'm just not very confident.
You don't like the 4-game win streak that they're on?
Gardner's not
I
him?
just
Gardner
believe-
Minshew.
Gardner
Minshew.
I don't have
Minshew.
a great feeling.
Shane Steichen is a legit head coach.
Yes, he
I agree.
is. I think that's kind of what's keeping the other is they have a good core. Michael Pittman is so underrated. So is
AR
Josh
AR
Johnson.
comes back and
you
they'll
know,
be.
you know what I would do to bring Michael Evans and Bills as a free agent this year? He's gonna resign. But
Yeah.
That would be
Is
a
he?
great number 1-2 with Stephon Diggs and Michael Pittman if we're able to get that.
Right.
So
Exactly.
moving on up, I'm gonna go ahead and say my number 9, which is the Bills. I think
Wait, no,
I'm
we're
gonna
at
skip
10, right?
10.
10?
I think we're 10.
Okay,
That's why
okay.
I realized that 10 for me is the Browns. I had to
Okay.
put them over the Bengals because
Nine
although they did
Bills.
split, I had the 9 Bills.
Yeah.
But 10 for me is the Browns. I think with the loss of Deshaun Watson, that hurts their season a lot. And they did have a great season against the Ravens. They split with them, but in that whole division, I don't see them making it out. So that makes it tough for them.
Yeah, I got Bengals at 10 as well. I think that division right now is
I have the Broncos at 10.
okay.
I think it was cool. The Broncos wave, whatever.
Right.
But not right now. It takes time to turn. Like that
Okay.
was one of the worst ran franchises for a
I
few
I
years.
mean, but the Broncos, they won games that they were not supposed to. So I had them ranked a little bit
But that's the
higher.
thing is that they
Lauren,
weren't
who you
supposed to.
got?
I had Browns.
Browns? Okay. Fair enough. So moving up to number 9,
Mhm.
Bills. You have the Bills.
Yes,
I
yes.
have the Broncos as well. I think again, fun run, but
Yeah, I have the Browns.
They-
at
I don't
9. That's
think- I
where
don't see
that's
them
where that
going
I've got the
runs.
Broncos at 9. I've got them over a couple of these other teams just because, contrary to power belief, Sean Payton's doing a lot of good coaching over there. He's got Russ Wilson to play some good football. They've got a good defense. And
But Russ Wilson goes out and throws 3 picks last week and blows the game for him. So that's
He
really
might,
it's tough.
Russell Wilson might be cooked, but he's playing a hell of a lot better than he did last
Yeah, well, okay.
That's-
Well, that was
that's-
historically like
And it
concerning.
sounded like you're bringing up interceptions when Mr. Josh Allen is only throwing one almost every
Yeah,
game.
but
So-
but
Like,
it's
come on.
This
but
conversation's
one
over.
per game isn't the issue when you're throwing 3 touchdowns or
He
having 3
literally
combined.
did it in the first game of the season.
That was
with
the
Jets.
first, that's the one game he's responsible for losing.
Come on.
Russell Wilson.
Who you got?
Oh, don't even get me going.
Yeah, it was at your 9.
That's Brown.
Browns, 2 teams at 9. Holy. We're set. I said
Actually,
that. Nobody's in number
I had
1.
Steelers actually.
Steelers. Okay.
Steelers,
That's
okay.
I
fine.
had to switch.
That's fine. Because my number 8 is Steelers as well. They're a 500 team,
Mhm.
and that's exactly where they need to be on the.
week.
on
We're
the
7-5
list.
right now.
There's I'm sorry.
Yeah, overall,
over
yeah.
500. So I put them at 8. I don't have faith after they lose Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, I don't either.
And,
At 8 for me, I put the Broncos. I
yeah,
have
I'm not a
them as well.
big
Bills.
Deontay Johnson fan either. I don't
They've
really
got
see him
TJ
doing
Watt
that. They do have TJ Watt.
and Mike
But
Tomlin.
how far does TJ Watt and Mike Tomlin take him?
They have a lot of.
They're
winning
7-5.
seasons.
They're
And
winning over the
TJ
Bills.
Watt
Yeah.
takes them as far as
We cannot speak as Bills
The
fans
Braves.
right now.
The Braves.
I have the Bills.
Bills at 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the Broncos at 8. They had to be over.
Bills
I
at
had
8.
Broncos.
Broncos.
That's mine. Did we just talk about the Steelers, or did you have them at 8? Yeah,
I have them at 8, yeah.
I have 8 as well. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we're on the
I
same
got
page.
the Steelers at 7. It's like we're kind of going in line with my picks because everyone's just right a little bit underneath mine. So Steelers at 7, they're having a pretty good season. Jalen Warren's doing great back there in the backfield.
I have Steelers at 7.
So I think that they're, they can make it out over 500 team, and we see what they've been doing.
I think
That's
the Steelers have a better head coach than the Bills and a better defense, and I think those 2 things carry them.
I had Bengals at 7.
Bengals at 7. I had Colts at 7.
I had the Bills.
There you go.
I had the Steelers at 7.
We got Bills at 9, 8, 7. Who's your 6?
Bills.
Bills. Okay,
That
yeah.
makes sense.
Bills.
Yep.
Bills at 6. I have Texans at 6. CJ Stroud is doing a
Oh.
fantastic job there, but Tank Dell is out on IR now. He's a
Yeah.
big target for him. And again, I love Nico Collins too. It's just
I
wonder-
wonder why.
does the steam run out at some point? I think I don't know. I'm on
It
a Texan
sounds like
fan.
they're starting to get things together in the Texans organization. Like they're now starting to put David Pearson in the right zone, and Devin Singletary starting to get in the end zone.
Motor.
again. So it's like if they're getting the ball down with Nico Collins and they can score in the red zone, with
I mean-
Stroud running in or their running backs.
Nico Collins had like 180 receiving yards last week. Like it was
Yeah,
it was
he's no
absurd.
slouch.
And
Yeah.
for that, I have the Texans at 5, Colts at 6.
Hmm.
I think
I
the
have
Colts.
at 6.
Yeah,
I think the
for
Colts
me-
are fun. I think that they're really well coached, but I just don't see them riding to the playoffs. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
There's
the
a
Colts
limit
are
with
the
Gardner
Bills.
Minshew.
Right.
It makes you think, where would they be with?
He's fun.
Anthony Richardson.
He's fun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Would they be better or worse?
I think they would be a little
Depends who
bit
plays
better.
more to the system.
Maybe better.
You're throwing in a mobile quarterback, opening up more opportunities from your playbook. But for me, I'm gonna go my 4, 5, 6. If we're talking about them, I got Jaguars at 6, Texans at 5, and Colts at 4.
Jags at
Fair.
6.
So
with
the loss of Christian Kirk for 8 weeks, I think that's
Is that what it is?
definitely-
8 weeks?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
out for
man.
8 weeks.
He's
So
out.
the chances of him coming back
Yeah.
would be if they make
Rap
it
sheet
far
said
in
he'd
the
be back for
playoffs.
the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it would be very tough for the
That-
Jaguars
I
to
didn't
do
know
much
that.
with him because they've
I thought
been
it was like 2 or 3.
underusing Calvin Ridley all
Mhm.
season. Even though they are the winners against the Colts with both games dropping for the Jaguars winning. So
Yeah.
that's the only reason why I got them sitting down there because we don't know how well they would be without Christian
Yeah,
Kirk.
that's I like that point.
I had 5.
You have the Jags at 5.
Yeah.
I mean, I said I have the Texans at 5, and then
I
I
got Bills at 5. I'm a Bills homer, man. I have so much faith in the team to turn it around, like they've done in past seasons.
okay. So
to
the
take
issue
it
is
there.
that turning it around is one thing,
Right.
But going undefeated is a completely another thing. If they go 4-1 to end out the year, they still might not make the playoffs.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're the only person that haven't mentioned the Bills yet.
I
No,
have
he did.
I have
He
I
did.
have met
Oh,
I
he
have
was,
met 8.
Yeah,
That
he
would
went
be-
9, 9, 8,
okay.
7,
Okay,
6,
Yeah,
5.
KJ had him the highest.
It's
at 5.
Homer to like realistic.
Like, come
You're
on.
probably right. You're probably right. They're all the way
Who's
down.
your guys' 4? This is where it starts to get
My
really
4. I have the Jags. I think
Jags at 4.
really.
yeah. Again, after their loss to the Bengals should put them lower in my book, but I
I
think
know
they're
there's
still
a team
pretty
you're
close.
about to say that we haven't heard from you, so say it, Coach.
I have the Chiefs
Mhm.
at 4. I
Okay.
think they're
Okay.
so beatable, and I know
They
okay,
can
and
be
that shouldn't mean that they're not favored because they have Patrick Mahomes. He can do whatever he wants.
Mhm.
Unless you're throwing it to Marquez Valdez-Scantling or one of those wide receivers who's so
Exactly.
unpredictably.
MVS deep ball.
That's
Yes.
exactly what I have written down too, which why I have the Chiefs at 3. So I said my number 4 is already Colts, but I have the Chiefs at 3 because they could be number 1 on my list if Marquez Valdez-Scantling made a few catches and they're getting those wins. So they could have
Right.
been what is it now, week 13, so they could have been a 12-1 team. So I definitely would have seen that going in the Chiefs' direction if they were able to get those wins from receivers dropping the ball.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I have the Jaguars at 4. I think obviously you have to monitor Trevor Lawrence's ankle injury, but they're firing all cylinders. I mean, go back and look at that Texans game. It was shootout.
Who's the backup?
CJ Beathard.
CJ Beathard, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Hey, he didn't look that bad.
4?
I had Texans.
Texans. Yep. I think it's fair. I think again, once you get up to this level, 4, 5, 6, it's like, I don't know. It's an argument for a ton of teams.
Week
So
to week.
I like that. Yeah, exactly.
Talks a lot about the Jags. That's my 3 pick. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
that's
they're
fair.
looking like there.
Yeah. Jags at 3 is tough. Again, losing Trevor Lawrence. is
That's the biggest
rough.
question mark. So I get
Yeah.
like you not wanting to move him up, but I think that roster's just so good.
I think he'll be back this week.
Yeah, I think he might.
Really?
Yeah, it's Trevor Lawrence is definitely able to come back. It's the Christian Kirk thing that has me wondering because he was so highly targeted in their offense.
They have Parker Washington, who looked really good.
He was really
He
good.
definitely did
Sixth
step up.
rounder
I
of this
agree
year's
with
draft, and ETN. If they can just get him the ball outside and stop pounding up the middle, they would be such a better football team.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Great football.
Yeah, and Calvin Ridley. If they force fed Calvin Ridley the ball, they could
It should have been that all season. though. I
It
feel
should have
like
been.
they just
Everything
weren't
that
using
offense
him.
is a lot
Exactly.
That's true. I think at my 3, I had Chiefs. Again, when you have Patrick Mahomes, and I'll bring up something in a second, but when you have Patrick Mahomes, I think you do have you have a really big chance to be right in the top there. And he's been playing a little shaky football though. I will add that much. Thomas let us know before the show that they are 4-4 when he throws a pick in the game, which is really interesting. So again, it's
Hopefully he
now-
does one against us. So
yeah, I was gonna say
we'll
against the
win.
Bills. Let's hope. Let's
I hope
hope.
it's more than one.
That's what I'm saying. Who do you have at 3? Dolphins. Ooh, that's interesting. Dolphins low. So then you got something a little bit higher.
Unbelievable.
Okay,
No.
that's fair. Well, okay, now explain it. Why? What's the not the hate, but like the disbelief for the Dolphins here?
I don't know. It's just the big games. I feel like they always something happens.
Mm.
Stuff doesn't go their way.
I can somewhat agree with that. I think
I don't have the Dolphins at 1 for the same reason. I have them at 2,
me too.
but I can't put them at 1. And I know like they can't be good teams or whatever, but I can't put them any lower than 2 because they are absolutely they click so well in certain games and the games they don't or against good teams. But at some point, I think that breaks. Like I could see the Bills dropping into the Dolphins. Like it's hard to go 2-0 against them.
I did Dolphins at 3 just for the sole fact that again their defense I'm not a big fan of.
I think Jalen Phillips
goes down.
that's tough.
Oh,
But Jalen Ramsey
he
is
stepped up.
really,
That
really-
game when he decided to get in there. Pick 6, he had some sacks,
Jerome
some
Baker's
broken
playing good
stops.
football.
Like, yeah, he was definitely stepping up for that team.
Who's your
Which is
guys'
why I have
two?
them number 1.
I had the Chiefs. At
Okay.
Chiefs. Anytime I'm just such a Patrick Mahomes guy. Like
Man,
That's what I'm saying.
Here's the guy.
But like
Where's the guy?
he's gotten by without Tyreek and utilizing other weapons. But like this year, they are legitimately hurting the team. Like if you were to go grab every team's wide receiver 3, every other team get a pick from other
They can
teams'
make
wide
a
receiver
default
3s,
catch.
they would be better at wide receiver. That's
I
just
really like-
except for Quentin Johnson.
There's a name that we haven't even said
Yeah.
yet. We haven't even mentioned Rasheed Rice. He's playing great football.
Yeah,
he
He's
is.
having a really
Yes.
good rookie season.
He's having a good year, yeah. But you look at Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore and all these wasted, assets that have done
MVS, yeah.
absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And Travis Kelce is slowly ticking down. Like
true.
it almost makes me nostalgic because he's the best tight end of all time.
We can put a pin in the Chiefs discussion because we'll get to that next
Yeah.
when we preview
Oh
the game.
man.
I want to know what's your 2? Did we get your tier 2?
My number 2, I believe I had the Baltimore Ravens. I
Ooh,
wanted to have them
okay.
number 1. They were my number 1 the entire season, but it's just that with the firepower that the Dolphins have, there's way too much. You got Devon Achane scoring 2 touchdowns, Tyreek scoring 2 touchdowns, and then they have other people that are able to put the ball across the pylon as well. So I really can't go any other direction than having to put them at number 2 to leave the number 1 spot for the Dolphins.
I have the Ravens in my 1.
I have
They're
Ravens
just
at
playing
1.
good football right now. You too?
They are playing
Before-
phenomenal football.
Before it kind of felt like it was meant to fall off. That offense was
Right.
built right, but Zay Flowers has changed the offense.
Mhm.
They're clicking without Mark Andrews, which I didn't know was possible. Keaton Mitchell is going to
Yeah, I
be.
was gonna ask.
He is Devon. He is the poor man's Devon Achane, just because of their their draft capital. But that offense is so explosive.
Eastern Carolina. Probably.
Yeah, OBJ doesn't have to be great. He just has to be,
Ironically, he's the highest paid.
yeah, of course. And then Zay Flowers is fun. He's just fun to watch, and that defense is always at least good,
Right.
which keeps them at
I wish
1
the
for me.
Bills traded up for Addison or Flowers.
Would've been
I can't
nice.
tell you how many times I've been saying
Would have
that.
been nice. Oh man, so I like these power. It gets us a good discussion about how much the Bills have to lift in order to kind of beat these teams that are up at the top of the food chain. One of those teams at most people's 2, 3, 4 is the Chiefs.
That they got coming up this week.
That we're coming up this week, exactly. So I kind of want to gauge what's happening kind of with these teams because the Chiefs most recently lost to the Green Bay Packers in prime time, which was kind of nuts. What's our initial reactions?
Any given Sunday. That's
Any
why.
given
That's
Sunday,
mine.
sure.
I feel like the Packers defense was just putting it on the Chiefs that game.
I
And the
think
Packers aren't bad.
Yeah,
I
right.
think the most interesting stat is that Matt LaFleur is the head coach of the Packers. He's never lost a game in December.
Really?
Yes,
that is
I did
wait,
see
that's
that.
true?
Yeah, he's like 12 and 0 or
12
13 and 0 or
December,
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think? Yeah. Dude, that's like, that is crazy. So again, I mean, so the Chiefs are coming off of a loss, and
Bills coming off a bye week.
the Bills coming off a bye week. I might be wrong. Have the Chiefs lost back-to-back, or have the Chiefs lost back-to-back games?
Oh, I tweeted about it.
Okay,
Hold
thank
on.
you. Yeah, I
you
can't-
guys talk.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
gonna find it.
talk about it. But again, it's tough to beat a Chiefs team who has just
Beat
come
them.
off a loss.
We're going to Kansas City.
Exactly, going in back into Arrowhead, which I mean,
Not Arrowhead.
Pascal.
Not Arrowhead.
I'm sorry.
Jihad.
They have not lost back-to-back games since weeks 2 and 3 of 2021, and we're playing them, in Arrowhead. They haven't lost back-to-back there since weeks 5 and 6 in 2019.
Yeah. And they're coming off a
Interesting.
loss to a team that people wanted to say powerhouse over them just off the simple fact that they're quarterbacks when
Yeah.
everyone likes to take Mahomes over Hurts.
So my thing is, we've gone during the regular season and won for the past two seasons, right? We've won in for those seasons. I have faith that they can pull it off. But again, some of these matchups that we're looking at, I'm a little nervous about. With a beaten up Bills defense, who has been playing decent football up until that Eagles game. I think they choked it there. Rono, who do you think that we have to watch out for from the Chiefs?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna win. The Bills are gonna win.
Yeah.
I mean, you got
I
Josh
agree
Allen
with
plays
you.
again
You gotta-
against the Eagles. I think we can beat anyone.
Right.
So,
I think Travis Kelce is obviously a name. I know I said that. I think he's regressed. And I think that the rumors about him possibly retiring could be true. Like he just looks like he's so banged up. He's had so many surgeries. But Rashee Rice and one, like you just pick a name out of the hat, and then whether it's Noah Gray or Watson or whoever you want to put out there, like they find a way to find one guy each game that beat you on a deep route that hurts you. And so it's so tough to beat who's going to pick or pick who's going to
I'm
beat you.
gonna highlight again Rashee Rice, my guy, and then
Yeah.
obviously Pacheco, because the Bills are notoriously bad tackling in open space.
Did you see the Micah Hyde? Like he's going again. This is the Eagles game. He's going to tackle Jalen Hurts, and then
Yeah, it
he
was
like
bad, yeah.
goes down, and then Poyer
Ridiculous.
basically.
Yeah, I mean, they're just gonna
It's
have
hard
to
to
get a piece
watch.
of juice because Rashee Rice is shifty and he's got some size to him. Obviously, everyone knows Pacheco.
No. I regret. Isaiah Pacheco is who they have to watch out for.
Yeah.
I feel like he's one of those players. Like the Bills have done so well at limiting the cap on passes, but like to explosive running backs, especially someone who runs as hard as Isaiah Pacheco, like they're so susceptible to big gains, which kill you late in the stretch.
Pacheco went like 7th
Yeah.
round.
I mean, I can't. He was never.
For me, on the offensive side, I would like to go in the backfield as well, and I think Jeremy is going to be used a lot if he does play, even though
If he
he's
does play.
questionable right now.
Slide
He's
over to Blair.
same as Pacheco, though. They're in the same scenario with being questionable, which is why I feel if it's not going to be Pacheco, then McKinnon would be the one to step up. And if he does, he's always the guy that comes in 5 yards without, and then he'll score 2-3 touchdowns a game off of just 3-yard dink and dunks. So that would be someone to definitely look out for when you're looking at the Chiefs offense if he does play.
Absolutely. I think again, this is a tough team to beat, and like you said though, any given Sunday, the Bills right now are who's the point favorite here? Do we know?
Ooh, I don't know the spread.
We can definitely
Chiefs
look it up
by
real
like
quick.
2.7.
Okay, Chiefs by 2.7. Again, Bills kind of coming in as a bit of underdogs, 6-6, 500 record here. What are we thinking about for like score? Because it's been so tough to predict.
Offense
the
is found
past
a
couple
groove.
weeks. Offense has found their group under Joe Brady, who I think has been doing a great job so far. But how did the Bills win? What kind of offense are you looking for? How do you beat?
The
how do
Bills
you beat
win
up on
is
their
they're gonna have
defense?
to pressure Mahomes. I mean, and I know that's kind of hard because anytime you pressure Mahomes, you have the ability of he gets out and he finds
yeah,
someone wide open.
Baseball throws.
But
Heck of a
yeah.
play there.
But
by
like
Mahomes.
Tommy said, anytime the turnovers happen, obviously you increase your winning probabilities by a lot. So I want them to take advantage of Jawan Taylor, who hasn't been playing very good at right tackle for them, and it's going to be important to get after
They're expecting to start a rookie or someone who hasn't played a left
Really?
tackle this week too. I
Oh,
forget.
left tackle.
Yeah,
Okay.
I forget who it is, but I'm intrigued to see obviously what that looks like. I'm trying to find right now the weather. That's what I feel like
The
has
weather,
affected
yeah.
the Bills so much. The
Yeah.
Chiefs are 2.5-point favorites, and
Okay.
the over/under is 48.5. But so I guess in that case it would be like a 28-21 or
Yeah, I'll
somewhere in
say
that.
somewhere around that range too.
Yeah, I like that too. I think I mean I'm trying to think as far as like Bills that need to get involved. I would love to see the run game step up a little bit more. James Cook, who's had a pretty good season so far, I would love to see him utilized a little bit to get those short gains. And then if you need
I
to,
like Tyler Johnson.
I agree. Tyler Johnson is
Mhm.
a pass catcher, and he's just been so good on the outs. I really do like his game as well.
Okay, objectively, right? Simple as this: the Bills win.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think this
I've
is
been
only-
trying to
No.
debate that this whole time listening to you guys. I don't
Okay.
know. I feel like the Chiefs, they really do want this win because
Well,
Well,
I think you
every
could say
team
that
does.
about
I
every
know,
team.
but-
Except maybe the Pats. I don't know if the Pats want to win anymore.
but to continue
I don't think they
because
care.
I remember you looking at me earlier when I said this and I'm gonna bring it up. The Bills are coming off of a loss to the Eagles. So everybody would want to take Mahomes over, which is why I said that Mahomes is definitely gonna look to capitalize and beat the Bills again as the Eagles just beat the Bills too.
What do you mean everyone would take Mahomes over Hurts? Are you are you
As a
implying?
quarterback, so I'm saying like the Eagles beat the Bills, and then anybody would take Mahomes over Hurts, so everybody would also think that the Chiefs are going to beat the Bills.
Well, yeah,
In my
I would
mindset.
take Mahomes over arguably anyone in the league.
Yeah.
I don't know if there isn't anyone to take him over. I mean, I love Josh in Buffalo, but if I was starting a franchise, like, it's tough to say if I wanted to win right now, I wouldn't take Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that's Andy Reid or what.
Someone just said, who came out and said that? They're like,
That's gonna be the next
That
I
is
did
narrative.
not see that. I would have to. Yeah.
It's like the opposite of the Belichick and Brady.
Yeah, right.
That's what we're experiencing right now.
But yeah, to continue with what I'm saying, I'm not sure who's going to win this game. I think that it could lean towards the Chiefs just for the simple fact that they want to keep on the win streak of people beating the Bills right now. That's why I want to
Yeah.
say that. It's
No,
not-
I like the Bills. I do.
Mhm.
I think that this is a game that the Bills, for some reason, just like how they have games where they lose, they win these ones against Kansas City. When it doesn't, well, when it does matter as much as here. This year, it absolutely matters. It's not for the number one seed; it's to stay alive in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I like the Bills like a 28-20 victory.
I can agree with that. I think, again, really interesting to see the Bills come up against the Chiefs, who they have had their number for a couple seasons now. And again, from there, it only gets harder. They have to win out to have a chance to make it to the playoffs. So I'm excited to see how that goes. But I think that's all the time we have here today. So thank you guys so much for joining us for the past 31 episodes of season 1. Our finale's here. Semester is just about wrapping up. So congratulations to all the graduates, and really excited to see where we take it from here.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll have a wrap up for the Chiefs coming up, and then another projection for the Cowboys
Yeah.
game. That season's not over. Neither is the Sabres, and it's only getting tougher. That's true. So again, from everybody here at Buffalo Sports Insider, thank you for a great season 1. Remember to stay up to date on everything Buffalo Sports Insider by checking out our social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, you name it, we got it.
Mhm.
And also be sure to check out our website, buffalosportsinsider.com, fresh articles. But from here at the studio, KJ Zelzinski, Colton Bankwitz, Ronan McDonald, Deshaun Francois, and Justin Cjack signing off. Stay safe, be good to each other. Have a good night. Take care.